What's going on, everybody? Anon here, and I am a day late on my This Week in Distro because of the Super Bowl yesterday. And whether you like the Eagles, you hate the Eagles, it was a good old fashioned butt kicking. Uh, it was a fun game to watch, unless you're a Chiefs fan. So now we don't have to worry about it for another year. We can talk pitchers and catchers next week. So anyway, guys, this week in Distro, some interesting things going on. So Innistrad Remastered looks like the dump's pretty much done. It's out of stock everywhere except for Magazine Exchange. 269. I think it's limited to here you go, 3 per account. Aether Drift again sold out across the board. You can see here they're selling for 219. This is an aftermarket price. Generally speaking, your standard set collector boxes are 183 to 189 ish, depending on the distributor. It'll be interesting to see how these two sets play out, because Aether Drift is the cards have a lot of value, but the overall and I actually have to check the LGS and see how the pre-release went. I was busy all weekend, but it seems like it's really hit or miss with the acceptance of the set, just based on the overall concept. But quite honestly, it reminds me a little bit of Kamigawa Neon Dynasty meets Amonkhet. So it's kind of cool. If you notice here, they do not have fast lane bundles. They don't have commander decks. They're sold out everywhere. Quite honestly, the products are pretty phenomenal. So moving on, you have the reprint of all the commander decks, which we've spoken about. These guys still have Bloomborough. It is limited to 4 per account per week. Sold out everywhere else. Here you have some of the other commanders. Some of the products that they're trying to move through. They do have Bloomborough play boosters, which are sold out everywhere else at $119.50. It's about $5 above initial release, which quite honestly isn't that bad. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with these play boosters, how they age, how they continue to print. I know early on with play boosters, we were told by multiple distributors that it's a one and done print. They're going to print it wave 1, then wave 2 is going to be released at a later date just to kind of keep the perception of scarcity, and then nothing else. It looks like that's not going to be the case. And again, as everything with Wizards and Hasbro, if there's demand for product, they're going to print it. So we'll see. Moving, not much else here to talk about. We can go to the collectors real quick. And again, nobody else has collector boxes at this point. But these guys have Aether Drift, Commander Masters, Innistrad, the Dominator United are the Omega boxes, the ones that you see hanging at Target. Murders, OTJ, not a whole lot there. Moving to Pokemon. Pokemon's interesting. So these guys, again, some people like Magazine Exchange. Some people dislike them because they do hold some product. They do upcharge a little bit, but at least they have it. So, they're one of those groups where they pride themselves on having everything available for NLGS. If you're an online retailer and you're looking to buy a pallet of stuff after release, they're not your guy. And I think that's why a lot of stores get a little frustrated because it's enough to sell packs in a physical location, but it's kind of irrelevant when dealing with online sales. Surprise boxes, tins, not a whole heck of a lot else. They do have these Paradox Rift booster bundle, not bundles, the build and battle displays, a couple boxes. The Mabastiff, it's okay value. It's like $3.15 a pack, but you get 2 Paradox and Obsidian Flames in a base. The Armorug is not great value. You get 6 packs, but they're $24. So you're $4 a pack, and then they have Scarlet Violet blisters. That's about it. But what I do want to talk about, and this is super interesting. So I mentioned a couple weeks ago, all the distributors had a bundle where it was X number, and it was super limited. At least as far as I'm aware. A couple bundles up to a display or so of 151, and then the same with Surging Sparks. booster bundles, but it looks like there's a sizable amount of those coming to distribution. Got a phone call Friday about them coming in. I would imagine they're going to be in every distributor across the board, which really is a little confusing because I put out a video how GT, who's owned by MJ Holdings, was selling Surgic Spark booster boxes for $199.99 on Walmart's website. So it's a little confusing because I see a lot of bundles coming to the market. I don't see a whole lot of booster boxes yet, so I'm not quite sure if booster boxes are coming or if it's just going to be bundles. But I think what's interesting is if we see a massive restock of booster bundles and we don't see booster boxes, I think the booster boxes and the ETBs are kind of going into the same category as the actual item themselves become a little bit more scarce than what they have been in the past. Because of Pokemon companies just going into dump bundles on the market, so there's packs there, and to try to keep the price of the packs down, it's a little bit of a different approach than what we're used to here. But anyway, keep a lookout for that. One more thing, we did see some Paradox Rift ETBs hit distribution, but I believe, and I don't know for certain, I believe they most likely came from Pokemon Center in the UK, and they came to the US just to kind of satiate some of the demand. I don't believe they're a reprint. We do have a case of them coming at some point. When I get that, we'll take a look at the stamp and see if it has the not for sale before, or if the sticker says something completely different. So anyway, guys, sorry for being late. I'm sure everybody understands that the Super Bowl was yesterday. So subscribe to the channel, join the Discord, and we will talk soon.